Not one of them showed up. Not my wife. Not my kids. Not my parents. Not even a cousin or an aunt. They were all at my brother's barbecue instead. And the second I stepped off that stage, my phone buzzed. A message from Natalie. We need to talk. It's urgent. I didn't reply. I just stood there in the empty hallway, diploma in hand, heart sinking like a stone. I already knew what urgent meant. It meant it was over. It meant I was alone. And it meant, for the first time in my life, I had to choose myself. The auditorium was packed. Parents hugging their kids. Kids screaming. Wives holding up phones, filming every second. Everyone had someone. Everyone except me. I stood at the edge of the stage in my black graduation gown, cap in hand, smiling like I belong. But inside I was breaking. I'd worked 2 jobs for 4 years just to make it through night school. I started at the warehouse at 5 a.m. Then worked the register at a hardware store until 6 p.m. Then drove across town to class by 7. I lived on coffee, gas station sandwiches, and naps in my truck between shifts. I miss birthdays. I miss school plays. I miss bedtime stories. I missed holidays. I did it all for Natalie, for Liam and Maya, for the life I thought we were building. They promised they'd be there. Front row. Natalie even said, "I'm gonna cheer so loud the whole school hears me." She joked, "We'll bring a giant sign that says, 'Our hero.'" I believed her. But during the ceremony I looked. Row after row. No familiar faces. No signs. No last-minute text saying they were running late. They weren't late. They just didn't come. When they called my name, Ethan Reed, the room erupted. But the applause didn't feel like mine. It sounded hollow. Like noise bouncing off an empty room. I shook the dean's hand. Took my diploma. Smiled for the photo. Walked off like I wasn't even there. Out in the hallway, I pulled out my phone. Maybe traffic. Maybe an emergency. But all I saw was that message from Natalie, sent 20 minutes ago. We need to talk. It's urgent. No calls. No. We're on our way. Just that. I opened the next message. I didn't want you to hear it from someone else. I'm at your brother Cole's place. We've been seeing each other. I didn't want to ruin your day, but I couldn't keep lying. My breath stopped. The hallway spun. I had to lean against the wall. She wasn't at Cole's cookout as a joke. She was there with him. My wife. My kids. My whole family. They picked my brother. And just like that I knew I was done. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't text back. I just made a decision. This ends now. I hope that barbecue was worth it. I walked outside into the cool evening air, diploma folder under my arm, phone still in my hand. Around me, families were hugging, laughing, taking pictures. And me? I just stood there on the sidewalk, staring at that message again. I'm at your brother Cole's place. We've been seeing each other. She didn't want to ruin my day. But she had already ruined everything. On the one day I finally made it, after 4 years of sacrifice, she chose betrayal. I opened Cole's social media. Public profile. There it was, summer barbecue at the lake. Photos loaded one by one. Natalie flipping burgers. Liam in the pool. Maya on Cole's shoulders, laughing like I didn't exist. My parents were there too, clapping, drinking, smiling like I was already gone. I swallowed hard. Then I saw it, a photo that vanished too fast. Natalie had posted it, then deleted it. But Instagram previewed it for half a second. I grabbed a screenshot. There she was, kissing Cole. In his arms. Wearing the red sundress I bought her for our anniversary. The betrayal hit like a punch to the gut. But I didn't fall apart. I got focused. I got in my truck and drove home. The house was empty. Exactly like I expected. The home I paid for. The furniture I picked out. The garden I built for the kids. Now it felt cold. Dead. Like a museum of lies. I sat at the kitchen table, opened my laptop, and pulled up 2 files, a spreadsheet I'd kept for years, and a scanned copy of the house deed. Natalie always thought I was just a little too careful with money. What she didn't know was that I tracked every dollar. Every account. Every signature. I used a dual-auth system only I could unlock. And 3 years ago, I set up a second LLC under my name. Moved 40% of my side income into it, just in case. She thought she cleaned out our joint accounts that morning. But that was only what I let her see. The real money? That was somewhere else. somewhere she couldn't touch. I opened another tab and started making quiet moves. Natalie made her choice. So did Cole. So did everyone who laughed and toasted at that barbecue. But they missed one thing. I spent 4 years learning how to build a future from nothing. Now I was going to use that same skill to take theirs apart, legally, quietly, completely. And by the time they noticed, it'd already be over. I didn't sleep that night. I sat at the kitchen table, going through old messages, receipts, calendar entries. I didn't want revenge. I wanted proof. And the more I dug, the more the truth came out. I found a hotel receipt from 6 months ago. Cole's company card used to book a weekend at a resort. Same dates as Natalie's sister's birthday trip. Except her sister lived 3 states away. And she never left town. I found text messages, not from her main number, but from a second one she thought I didn't know about. Messages to Cole. He's so focused on school, he doesn't even notice when I'm gone. I miss you. I hate lying to him. We can't keep doing this. But I don't want to stop. And then, the worst one. Don't worry. After graduation, I'll clean out the accounts. He'll be too distracted to notice. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning my downfall. And they thought I was too busy, too tired, too simple to see it coming. But I wasn't blind. I was just quiet. And quiet men notice everything. I printed every document. Saved every screenshot. Made copies. Stored them in a locked folder, both digital and physical. Then I called my lawyer, Mark, first thing in the morning. I need a divorce, I said. And I need it fast. He didn't ask why. He just said, send me everything. By noon, the paperwork was filed. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to scream. I just wanted to protect my kids, my name, and my future. And I wasn't going to let them walk away with anything. 3 days passed. I didn't answer Natalie's texts. Didn't pick up Cole's calls. Yeah, he actually had the nerve to call me. Instead, I worked. At night, I'd lie in bed, not crying, not losing it, just planning. Every lie they told, every move they made, I turned it into fuel. Friday morning, I sent one email to HR at Cole's firm. Subject, conflict of interest and misuse of company funds, urgent. Attached screenshots of Natalie and Cole together, timestamped. Expense reports, hotel stays, flights, dinners, all charged to company accounts, all with Natalie. And a forwarded email thread from Natalie's inbox. She never logged out on my laptop. In it she wrote, "Don't worry, Ethan's clueless. I'll clean out the joint accounts after graduation. He'll be too distracted to notice." I didn't send it from my email. I used a burner account from a coffee shop downtown. By Saturday night, the fallout started. Cole's LinkedIn changed to open to work. Natalie's Instagram went dark. But the real win came Sunday morning, when Mark met me at a diner. "You sure about this?" he asked, sliding over the signed documents. Property transfer, asset protection, divorce filing. "Absolutely," I said. "I'm not fighting for revenge. I'm fighting for my kids. For my future. And I'm not letting them walk away clean." I'd locked down my retirement accounts. Protected the income from my hidden LLC. The house? Thanks to a prenup Natalie skimmed and signed without reading, it was never fully hers. And custody of the kids? With her documented absence at my graduation and those texts about leaving the family, I had solid ground. Mark nodded. "They picked the wrong guy to mess with." I gave a small smile. "They picked the right one to bury." That night, Natalie finally showed up at the house. Banging on the door. Crying. Her hair was a mess, makeup smeared. "Please," she begged. "You haven't answered me. I'm so sorry. Cole got fired. My parents are furious. I didn't mean for it to go like this." I opened the door halfway. Just enough for her to see my face. Calm. Not broken. "Natalie," I said steady, "this house isn't yours anymore. You'll get divorce papers from my lawyer by morning. Check the mailbox." Her lip trembled. "And one more thing," I added. "You told me to watch my graduation through Google Earth." I gave her a small, cold smirk. "I hope you enjoy watching the rest of your life fall apart the same way, from a distance." Then I shut the door. And I didn't look back. By Monday, things had gone way beyond what Natalie ever expected. She tried to log into our joint accounts. Locked. Tried her credit card, declined. Ran to the bank, panicked. The teller told her, "Ma'am, these accounts were closed 3 days ago." The funds have been transferred to Mr. Reed's protected trust under legal agreements. Is this a mistake? She snapped. I'm his wife. The clerk looked at her gently. Ex-wife. He filed for divorce yesterday. She stormed out, humiliated, only to find her car towed. Not because of me. Because Cole had leased it under his company. And now that he was fired, the lease was cancelled. The keys didn't work. She sat on the curb, calling Cole. He didn't answer. He was too busy being questioned by auditors, his emails exposed, his lies unraveling. That night, I got a message from a blocked number. A video. It was Natalie. In a cheap motel room. Crying. Voice breaking. Please, please, can we talk? I made a mistake. I don't even know why I did it. He's not who I thought he was. I just thought you didn't care. But you always did, didn't you? You were always the strong one. I didn't reply. I forwarded it to Mark. And for the first time in weeks, I slept through the night. 2 weeks later, the divorce moved fast. And it wasn't pretty for her. Natalie lost everything. No house. No custody of the kids, thanks to her abandonment and those texts. No claim on my inheritance. All of it locked down by legal prep she never saw coming. As for Cole, he was under investigation for fraud. His fancy car? Gone. His reputation? Ruined. People in his industry were laughing at him. And Natalie? She moved in with her sister. The same woman who once told me, "You're lucky she chose you." I got one last letter from her. Handwritten. It ended with, "I never thought you'd do something like this. You were always so quiet." I smiled. She finally got it. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Quiet means you're watching. Planning. Waiting. And when the time comes, you don't scream. You act. 6 months later, I stood in the same auditorium lobby, this time in a dark suit, shaking hands with the dean as he handed me a gold plaque. Outstanding non-traditional graduate of the year, Ethan Reed. Behind me, a local news reporter waited to interview me. Not just because I graduated at the top of my class at 40. But because my story had gone viral. How? Someone took a photo of me walking across that stage alone, holding my diploma, no family in sight. Then they found a second picture, me the next day, standing beside a banner that read, "Stand for fathers, supporting men who build lives, but get left behind." The story spread, about the quiet dad who got abandoned on his biggest day, exposed his wife's affair, won full custody of his kids, and started a non-profit to help other men going through the same thing. Natalie tried to spin it online. But screenshots of her messages were already trending. Cole? Out of work. Facing lawsuits. And my kids? Back in my life. Not because I turned them against her. I didn't poison their minds. I just let the truth speak. As for me? I never wanted revenge to be loud. I didn't want to destroy anyone. I just wanted peace. But when peace is stolen from you, sometimes justice looks a lot like quiet, careful patience. They watched me walk alone that day. But in the end? I walked away with everything they lost. Was it justified? You tell me. If this story hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you believe quiet strength deserves respect, hit like, subscribe to Lauren's story, and stay tuned. Because here, every lie has its reckoning. And every betrayal finds its shadow. Stay sharp. Stay strong. And stay ready.